You know that classic question, right? What if Earth had rings just like Saturn? It's the stuff of science fiction. Or is it? What if I told you this wasn't just some fantasy, but maybe our planet's actual past? Let's get into it.
I mean, we've all done it, right? You look up at the stars, you think about those incredible sci-fi movies, you know, alien worlds with skies just filled with amazing sights. It's just part of who we are to look up and ask, what if?
But here's a wild thought. What if we've been looking in completely the wrong direction? What if the most mind-blowing, spectacular sky you could ever imagine wasn't light years away in some distant galaxy, but was right here in our own planet's deep, deep past? Because, get this, new evidence suggesting this wasn't just some what-if daydream. It might have actually happened. All right, so let's take a trip way back in time. We're going to uncover the story of Earth's lost crown, this incredible, magnificent feature our planet apparently wore for millions and millions of years. And look, this isn't just some crazy theory someone cooked up. Just recently, in September 2024, a team of researchers from Monash University dropped a study with some seriously compelling evidence that, yeah, our home planet once rocked a glorious ring system. So when are we talking about? We're diving way back into the Ordovician period. That's a huge slice of geological time, like over 400 million years ago. And the theory is that around 466 million years ago, some big cosmic event gave Earth its rings, and they might have stuck around for as long as 40 million years. That's a really long time. Okay, so a lost ring system. That's a massive claim. So what's the proof? Where's the evidence for this incredible forgotten past? Well, let's break down exactly how scientists think this all went down. All right, first, there's this one key idea you've got to understand. It's called the Roche limit. Basically, think of it as a gravitational no-fly zone around a planet. It's this invisible boundary, and if something smaller, like an asteroid, gets too close and crosses that line, the planet's gravity is so powerful it just rips it to pieces, literally tears it to shreds. And yep, you guessed it, that's exactly what scientists think happened here. A huge asteroid, maybe a piece broken off an even bigger one, like 150 kilometers wide, had a super close call with Earth. It swung right inside that Roche limit, and bam, our planet's gravity did its thing, tore it apart, and all that leftover debris got scattered into this big flat disk, which eventually settled into a beautiful stable ring system right around our equator. But how do we know? Well, here's the smoking gun, the real kicker. The researchers looked at 21 different impact craters from that exact period, and when they mapped out where the continents used to be, they found something absolutely wild. Every single one of those 21 craters was located in a narrow band within 30 degrees of the ancient equator. Now, you gotta understand, asteroid strikes are supposed to be random. They can hit anywhere. So to have them all line up like that, that's not just a coincidence. That's a huge clue. So just how unlikely are we talking? Well, the odds of 21 random impacts all just happening to land in that tight little equatorial band are about 1 in 25 million. Let that sink in. 1 in 25 million. No way that's random chance. This is pretty much the strongest evidence we have that the debris had to be raining down from something already orbiting right over the equator, like a ring. Okay, so the science seems pretty solid, right? But let's get to the really cool part. Let's talk about the spectacle. What would it have actually been like to stand on Earth all those millions of years ago and just look up? You know, we think about those incredible sci-fi vistas on other worlds, but the crazy thing is, our own planet might have had the most stunning view of all. Not just for a night, but a permanent, unbelievable marvel just hanging up there in our sky. Just try to picture it. If you were standing near the equator back then, you'd see this giant, shimmering arc stretching across the entire sky, from one horizon all the way to the other. And at night, the rings would catch the sunlight, just like our moon does, and bathe the whole world in this beautiful, constant twilight. Can you even imagine? Just breathtaking. But something that huge, that dramatic, it wouldn't just be pretty to look at. No, it would change everything. It would completely transform our world, in some ways for the better, and in some ways for the much, much worse. Yeah, it's a real double-edged sword. On one side, pure wonder. I mean, can you imagine the myths and stories? A celestial highway for the gods, a perfect, constant compass in the sky for sailors. But then there's the other side, the danger. The rings would cast a huge shadow, and that could plunge the whole planet into a global ice age. We're talking temperatures in the tropics dropping to -30 Celsius, and that kind of climate chaos would spawn monster hurricanes. And what if we had those rings today? Oh man, our modern world would pretty much grind to a halt. Think about it. Almost all of our satellites, like 99% of them, don't orbit perfectly flat with the equator. They'd have to fly through that ring of debris twice for every single orbit. The risk of a catastrophic collision would be insane. Our entire satellite network, our GPS, our communications, it would all be crippled. Space travel, forget about it. It'd be impossibly dangerous. But, as incredible as these rings would have been, they weren't meant to last forever. Like all great things, they had their own spectacular and totally inevitable end. Because when you're talking about cosmic timescales, nothing is permanent, especially something as fragile and beautiful as a ring system. So over millions and millions of years, Earth's own gravity would start to win. It would slowly but surely tug on all those little pieces of ice and rock, pulling them down. They'd start to spiral inwards, falling towards the planet in a process with a perfect name, ring rain. And can you just picture that final act? The end of the rings wouldn't be some violent explosion. For millions of years, it would have been this gentle, never-ending meteor shower. Every single day, countless shooting stars streaking across the sky, all parallel to the rings. It would have been a constant, beautiful, bittersweet show, a reminder of the amazing crown our planet was slowly losing. Which brings us to a final big question. The beauty, the sheer spectacle, it would be absolutely undeniable, something no human has ever seen. But the price, a potential ice age, crippled technology, it could be catastrophic. So, if we could somehow snap our fingers and bring Earth's rings back, should we?